The David Project has been working with students across the country to reach out beyond the Jewish community and build relationships. And one of the communities that we've interacted with a lot on many different campuses is the Latino community. And what we've seen is not only are they growing in the United States, both in size and influence, but also on campus. And our students have built really great connections with the Latino community. So we wanted to bring these two groups together, the Jewish community and the Latino community, for a summit where we can focus on shared issues and talk about how we can further connect these two groups on campus.
Well, I heard about it from Carlos, my coordinator on the West Coast, and he talked to me about how I had just come from Israel. That was my first interaction with the David Project, and I learned a lot while in Israel about the Jewish culture and about the Israeli culture, and it was very enlightening. And so when he mentioned that there was a Latino and like Jewish students like summit, I was really excited because that meant that like I had some kind of like input. I was able to belong in that category.
So I mean, Miami is like the capital of the world when it comes to American and Latino, Latinx relations. And there are so many students on campus who identify as both. And so when it comes to programming, we do a lot here for the Latinx Jewish community, but there's always a sense that we can be doing more.
AJC and the David Project believe that if we bring together Jewish student leaders and Latino student leaders to learn from one another, to learn how to support one another, to learn how to be allies to one another in their advocacy, then their work on their campuses will be even stronger than it could be on their own. By bringing the two groups together, we help to create coalitions that will have ramifications well beyond what we do here this weekend.
I consider myself Israeli, which I've come to realize on my campus. Like culturally, I tend to relate to the people in the Latino community. I find that there's like a lot of similarities in like how we interact with our parents and our grandparents, and even with one another. Like both communities, I think, tend to be like loud and passionate, but also like kind of blunt and honest, which like I find makes me feel more comfortable in general.
Growing up, I kind of just have always felt like I was the other, and I was not very like included in a lot of things just because of my clash of cultures of being Mexican and American and having to navigate through that. And learning what I had learned in Israel and knowing that like Jewish students have experienced almost very similar things, I just wanted to be able to provide my insight as an emotional being, because I know that I am, and I know that I'm very open and I am very raw. I like being very transparent because if I'm not, then I'm not being my true self. And I want people to see that, and I want people to reciprocate that, because I want to have those honest conversations. I want to have those relationships with people that are more than just surface level. I don't want materialistic friendships. I want something that means something to me that's going to benefit both of us in the long run.
And I think the David Project does a really great job of arming you with the tools to break down those barriers, find meaningful conversations, promote meaningful conversations with people in different groups. That whole concept of dialogue across difference is a way to bring people together.